Secret Spirits Scotch Whisky Advent Calendar, 6th edition, day 18. I have not looked at the label. I'm going to open it right now and pour it. Okay. Let's get it in a nice clean Glencairn glass right here. And we're going to have some entertainment. Okay. Little bubbles around the side. That's a telltale indication that we have something with a high ABV. Let's have a look at the legs to see if one thing corroborates the other, or if they agree. Come on, you. Let's have a look-see now. Kind of viscous. The drops are slow to come down, but they do come down after they form. Oh, that smells lovely. A lot of caramel. A lot of caramel right away. They remind me of craft caramels. These little caramels that came, they were almost cubic. And they'd come in a cellophane wrapper, and they were, cubic shaped. I loved those as a kid. And this is just like those little craft caramels that were about, I guess 1 centimeter by a centimeter and a half, 1 centimeter thick, and a centimeter and a half square. So they weren't exactly cubic, they were like half a cube. Oh, this is nice. Very nice. Beautiful caramel. Am I getting anything else besides that lovely caramel toffee note? And I remember those things were a little bit dry. Sometimes they would. More of that caramel. Now I'm getting a bit of a malty note. Now that malty note could be either of two things. It could be the malt from the distillation, the malt flavor that came through the distillation, or a wood influence, as we found out yesterday. Oh, this is just incredible nose. Loads and loads and loads of caramel. I still think it's pretty high. But that nose is just delicious. I'm not getting much fruit to speak of. Although there is a hint of orchard fruits like Apples and pears. Apples. Oh yeah, now it's smelling, just the power of suggestion. Now it's smelling completely like apple juice. Okay, that toffee, that caramel note has kind of faded, moved aside, so to speak, and now I'm getting orchard fruits, apple juice. You can get your senses dulled, I think. Your sense of smell can be dulled. If you stand back a moment. Now I'm getting that caramel and the apple juice, which is very interesting. I wouldn't say from here that it's very complex, but it is. It smells delicious. I'm not getting a lot of other notes from it, just that caramel and the orchard fruits. Maybe a bit of stone fruits too, but I'm not sure. Things like plums and peaches. And I'm not sure about that one. Let's just say apple and other indistinct fruits. I'm even getting right now a bit of a wine, a winey note, like a white wine. Not fruity, just like wine. That might be an extension of the apple juice note that I was getting earlier. Now it's dragging itself off into white wine. Being slightly yeasty. Is that possible? I'm going to taste this right about now. Oh. 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 On the palate, I'm getting wine, like a white wine. Not so much the apples, not so much the caramel that was coming through on the nose, but white wine. It's like this was finished in some kind of white wine cask. And if it was a red wine cask, then it would be darker, I think. Unless, of course, it was a red wine cask, not the first fill, and I don't know. Could this be French oak Limousin casks? I wonder. I usually like Limousin. Uh, not just Limousin, but we're talking the Nectar d'Or, that stuff. Sauterne. Okay. Don't mind me. I've been working all night. I worked all night and came home in the morning. I did a 12-hour shift. That 12-hour shift ended 2.5 hours ago. So my short-term memory for words. And this is my first whiskey of the day. I always make it my first whiskey of the day for this Advent calendar and for blind tasting. I don't want anything that I had to drink before influence what I'm getting here. This may be a mistake in the case of the high ABV bottles, or the high ABV samples. They are, after all, samples, really. They're just 50 milliliters. In the case of the high ABV ones, maybe, like I said, it wasn't very wise to not have something of a lower ABV first to wet my whistle. Because some of the high alcohol content whiskeys, they can really blast you. Take your first sip and you're blasted. Your mouth is washed out with alcohol. Second sip, see what else I get. I might have to add water to this because I think it's pretty strong. But that caramel nose is still there. Those craft, I mentioned to you what they were already. I don't know if you can get them outside of Canada. I haven't seen them inside Canada for a while, but then I don't look at the candy section that much, being diabetic, you know. Oh, definite wine and lots of it. A white wine, I believe. I'm pointed towards Sauterne, but I'm not entirely sure. These things can always throw a curve at you that just throws you off, and I might be just suggesting to myself that it is a Sauterne cask. And what is the whiskey that would be put in a Sauterne? Probably a Highland. Probably a Highland. Oh, it's a bit of a fudge too. Could it be possible on the nose? Now that I've had some more fudge and coconut. I'll take back what I said earlier about this not being complex. As it opens up, I think it gets a lot more complex. And we've been going about 13 minutes since I poured it. That's not too bad. Bit of an earthy note too. Don't know what it is. Okay. It's not so hot now on the palate. Now that the first initial sip is strong, but after that, after having mixed some of it with saliva, it gets rather drinkable, rather pleasant. I'm liking this one a lot. This is probably one of my favorites from the whole collection, or from the whole calendar. I love that craft caramel note. I like the The I will go out on a limb here and say the dessert wine flavor on the palate. Nice, and gonna go for the finish now. Mm. Oh, yeah, you know, the ABV isn't all that high. I'll give it 48 now. It's not tingling so much, it's not stinging so much. It's just the finish is just the wine, that wine note fading away. Oh, I'm scared to look. Should I add just a drop or two of water? Just to, one drop. Ooh, a little more than two. Let's see if that does anything to it. So far, I've been taking rather small sips. What does that do to the nose? Ah, I'm still getting a lot of those craft caramels. More fudge than I was getting before I added any water. Maybe this was the right thing to do. What kind of fudge? Fudge with coconut in it. Ah, this is just fantastic on the nose. That little bit of water might have helped it a little bit. Just for experiment's sake. I can't get over the nose of this one. It is so delicious. I could smell it all day. I could just sit here, rotate my glass a little bit with every sniff, just so that there's some on the glass, giving a large surface area and giving me as much of the aroma as possible. Okay. Oh, I like this. I think I narrowed it down approximately what it is. I can't choose the distillery. Let's go for a taste again. Mmm. Mmm. It's better with a bit of water. There was a bit of harshness before, but now it's all smoothed out. Mm. It's a little viscous. It's almost waxy. Mm. Could be something strange, like a, wow, there's something stuck in between my teeth. If I'm making funny noises, that's why. Okay, I think I got it. It's gone. I would go really extending myself in saying that it could be something extremely strange, like I'm just fantasizing here, a Klein leash that's been finished in Sauterne cask, if such a thing has ever existed. Let's find out what this really is. Since we've been going on for 20 minutes, it is a Secret Spirits Macduff 14-year-old single malt Scotch whiskey distilled in 2003. Cask type sherry butt. Really? Seemed a little sweeter than a sherry butt, and it also didn't have a lot of those dark fruits that I would associate with sherry. 55.9%? Is that what it said? Yeah. And it drinks very nicely at around 50. Or even a little more. It doesn't have much of a burn on it, although it did at first when I first sipped it. Cask number 1835-900032, Speyside. Well, I figured it was a Speyside or a Highland, and I thought it was finished in... God, it tastes so much like a Sauterne cask. And it is a single malt Scotch whiskey. Interesting. And Macduff. I've had Macduff before, and I liked it. This is just wonderful. This is one of my favorites so far. It might be the favorite. Who knows? Number 18. Very, very nice. Very, very, very nice indeed. I wish I had a full bottle of this. Oh, Jonathan and Cindy, this is a real gem. This is one of the best from this year's calendar that I have tried. It ticks the boxes. It's 14 years old. The ABV is a little high at 55.9. But everything else about it, sherry butt. It doesn't say how many times the sherry butt has been used, but I don't care because of that delicious craft caramel nose. Yeah, this is one of my favorites. Now, 23 minutes and almost 24 minutes, maybe 25 with the intro. I've been going on long enough. I really appreciate this dram. This is one of the nicest. Slancheva.
Foodquig.
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 Yeah.